Swiss turning into a buy. So we sold it on Friday. This wasn't a sell today, it was a sell on Friday. And we got the data coming out at 9 o'clock this morning telling us that the Swiss National Bank actually bought it last week. Do you agree with that? Swiss National Bank, 445 against 439. So we have to look back at last week. So where did the Swiss National Bank buy Euro Swiss? Remember we talked about a buy on the Euro dollar when we got long the Euro Swiss here? Remember that trade? It just turns out that this is the Swiss National Bank's buying level, isn't it? Probably. So when you draw that chart on your screens, when you start drawing that area on your screens there, I'm now looking at this on the drop from Friday. I'm now looking at this and I'm saying, right, I just need to see the Swiss National Bank buying again today, Ulrich. Does anybody see when the Swiss National Bank bought again in this area? Well, they obviously bought that price there, didn't they? Again, you're not guessing about them buying. Just like we've been talking about pretty much all day today, we're not guessing about them buying this. We're seeing them buying it. We're seeing the Swiss National Bank pressing the bloody button. And obviously we want to make sure the euro's getting bought as well. Is the euro diverging against this lower low print here? Sure, it's not by much, but the euro is diverging against that lower low print. So as the euro diverges against that lower low print, I'm ready to now action against this 93.40 level. And we've had a very, very nice buy trade along with the Swiss National Bank. Thank you very much. Now, I'm not going to hang around with this because obviously there's some selling coming in here on the euro dollar. And because there's some selling coming in here on the euro dollar, this is a level that we know very well because there was a big sell came in here this morning for a change of behavior because everybody was selling euros, right? Everybody was selling euros. So obviously in light of that, this is a level that we know that everybody was selling euros from. So I'm not going to hang around with this. I'm going to book my monies here. Just as we were coming into classroom, it was a good idea to start booking this as a bit of a reversal trade or a bit of a profit take. And for the rest of the week now, we're going to be looking at bidding off this 40s and possibly below, possibly slightly above. It makes no difference. But we'll certainly be looking at the Swiss franc in terms of key levels. And according to key levels, of course, that 50 would be one. 93.25 and 93 evens would obviously also be key levels. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just a very, very simple trade. Very simple. You might be saying, why didn't you buy here, for example? Because at that time, we didn't know Swiss National Bank were buyers, did we? It was 9 o'clock. We know when the Swiss National Bank were buying it from last week, right? Because on the face of it, they could have been buying or selling this because the price opened lower, traded higher, and finished in the middle. So they could have been buying or selling this. Well, we know last week that they were definitely buying it. So obviously what you'd have been looking at is, well, if we knew that they were definitely buying it, you might have considered a buy trade here. But you can see obviously that it's very difficult to be a buyer there when the euro's being sold. So that's not going to be a buy trade for us, is it? Can't be a buy trade for us. Anyway, we don't know about it on Sunday night anyway. At that Sunday night, we still thought the Swiss National Bank were sellers. So obviously the sell coming in here wasn't really a surprise. And then at 9 o'clock, we then find out that the Swiss National Bank, when they released their own figures, we find that the Swiss National Bank were actually buyers of Euro Swiss last week, which interestingly enough turns out to be our exact buy trade here from last week going into Sunday night, Monday morning. And that was obviously where the big buy came from the Euro Swiss. So, that's why we had to sell a couple of times at higher prices because we were actually on the wrong side of the Euro Swiss trade. So in hindsight, you can see we were actually on the wrong side of Euro Swiss last week, Ulrich, and we still made money because we were always waiting for that euro dollar selling to help us out a little bit. And when the euro dollar selling helped us out, we were able to take full advantage of that as a play, right? Anyway, classroom guys, 60 seconds.